I don't think that enough people know about a resource like this.
It's like Maryland's best kept secret is that we're here.
So Maryland TAP is the Technology Assistance Program.
We provide services to folks with all disabilities and all age ranges. So we run a pretty broad spectrum of assistive technology services. That includes things like equipment libraries, equipment demonstrations, consultations. We do training.
And so one of our main things that we do here is we have an assistive technology demo and loan library full of different assistive technologies.
There are no other places in the state where you're going to find the variety and the array of assistive equipment, everything from modified wheelchairs to feeding devices to braille and audio devices, that one can go and look at the stuff and try it out and even borrow it for a time.
So we often say we're like the public library for books, but with assistive technology instead.
So they're able to take the devices home with them, utilize them in their workplace, education-based settings, and then actually see if it's going to fit their needs and utilize them there.
So it helps me to rule out if I want to spend the money for something or not.
Then we also do AT reuse, so that's higher tech devices. So we've gathered up the higher tech devices similar to what we have in the library here, but they're donated, which we clean, refurbish, and sanitize, and then are able to loan out to individuals for open-ended loans as long as they need the device. And then we also have a financial loan program, and they can loan between $500 and $50,000, again, to Maryland residents with disabilities to buy any sort of assistive technology that's needed.
I'm grateful that we have a resource like this here.
What our main hope for here is to make the individual more independent.
I've worked with clients over all kinds of disabilities, and I've had people come up to me and say, I didn't think it'd be possible for me to read again, on my own. And like using this device, I was able to actually read a book on my own at my own pace, and it's really powerful.
And I see the huge change it makes in people's lives.
It's life-changing, and there is no application process, which is probably the best part of this.
I think that's really unique in our program. You don't have to go through all these forms and get things signed off and checked off on. You contact us directly as AT specialists. We can get somebody in here in the library if they want to in probably less than a week's time.
There's not a fee associated with our program. There's not an application process. It is truly a public service that we're providing. So we want folks to feel comfortable reaching out to us, connecting with us, and hopefully we can help come up with some solutions.
Hello and welcome. Thank you for joining me. My name is Nora Walker, and I'm the Communications and Fabrication Coordinator for the Maryland Assistive Technology Program. I'm a white woman in my early 30s with long red hair. There is an assistive technology program in every state in the country. Some are run through universities or nonprofits, and in Maryland, we're run under the State Department of Disabilities. Depending on the state that you're in, the services that exist through the assistive technology programs might vary slightly, but most of the core ones will look similar from state to state. In Maryland, we consider these 6 areas are sort of core services, and that's equipment demonstrations, device loans, equipment reuse, device fabrication, financing, and training. And all of these services that we provide are free to anyone in Maryland, with the exception of our financial loan program. I always like to begin when I'm doing presentations by making sure everyone's working with the same definition of assistive technology. It's kind of a self-explanatory sounding term, but it might encompass a broader spectrum of things than you first consider. So I just like to lay down the groundwork. What we mean when we talk about assistive technology is essentially any kind of implement that can help someone, specifically someone with a disability, do something more easily, more safely, or more independently. So this can include very, very low-tech aids like a foam grip that you could slide a pencil or eating utensil into to make it easier to manipulate. It can be software on your phone or tablet, It can be high-tech communication devices that can speak for somebody, eye gaze systems that allow a person to operate a computer or communication device just by using their eyes. It can be braille items, even an adapted vehicle could be considered assistive technology. So it's really anything that helps you do something you want to. And assistive technology is about the function of something. So, what something can accomplish for you rather than what that thing was designed with the intention of doing. So, what this means is that you can find an off the shelf product that was designed for a mainstream audience and not with someone with a disability in mind. And you can use that in an innovative way that suits your needs. And then that becomes assistive technology for you. And similarly, you might find something that was designed with one specific kind of disability in mind, but it supports you for a different kind of disability. An example of that might be text to speech, and that might have been designed with blind people in mind, but it might help somebody with word processing disorders. On this slide, I have images of some specific examples of assistive technology devices. So we've got some smart plugs that you can plug any wall plug device into and make it voice activated or able to be controlled by your cell phone. We've got a low-tech voice amplifier that can function kind of similarly to hearing aids, just lets you turn up or down the volume of your surroundings. You can focus on specific tones and then listen through earphones. There's a Google Home device or an Amazon Alexa, one of those two, which is an example of an off-the-shelf mainstream product that can be used to as assistive tech to benefit someone. We've got Braille note takers, memory aids, a pill container that helps people remember to take their medication independently, fall detection systems, and even an adaptive Xbox controller that lets somebody with, specifically usually somebody with physical disabilities, still play Xbox in the way that they want to. Moving forward, the first kind of core service that we operate are our AT libraries. So we operate assistive technology libraries that are physical locations where you can come in, receive a consultation, and then borrow devices to take home with you and try out at home, in the workplace, in your school, or wherever it may be, so that you can get some hands-on experience with that and really make sure it suits your needs before trying to move forward with some kind of acquisition process. We also operate our high-tech assistive technology reuse center. So we collect the used devices, refurbish and sanitize them, and then offer those back out for free to people. There is an online inventory marked in this slide or linked in this slide that our reuse coordinator tries to keep relatively updated, so you can just search online and see what items might be available. And then that is also a physical location in Columbia, so you can schedule an appointment to go there as well and see what she's got, receive consultation. These are not directly connected to our program, but we have partnered with each of these agencies in the past, and they operate other kinds of equipment reuse programs. I find myself referring people to these programs really frequently, so I think it's worth just mentioning in case people don't know they exist. These are 3 options for used durable medical equipment. So that's going to be things like mobility aids, wheelchairs, walkers, transfer equipment, shower chairs, things like that. The Maryland Department of Aging has an equipment reuse program for durable medical equipment, and that functions like our reuse program, but with a focus on the durable medical stuff. They've got a huge warehouse in PG County, and you can get things like electric wheelchairs, canes, rollators, hospital beds, et cetera, for free through that program. And then there are two others that do something similar, but with a focus on pediatric durable medical equipment. So the little stuff, those places are called Ryan's Place Foundation. It was previously the Lollipop Kids Foundation, and Equipment Connections for Children. And I have links to each of those websites on this slide as well. Our assistive technology financial loan program provides loans through an area lender, but it can help people to be approved for loans and to receive discounts on their interest rates for loans when they're using the financing to purchase something disability related. It can be a really broad spectrum of things, from any kind of assistive technology device like we've gone over already, or durable medical equipment, to home modifications, vehicle modifications, and adapted and not adapted vehicles. We were able last year to raise our loan amounts for adapted vehicles and non-adapted vehicles up to $70,000. So a lot of people come through our program when they're trying to buy a vehicle. And I'll mention that in order to apply for a loan through that program, you don't need to be the individual utilizing the thing being financed. You can also be a friend or a family member or whoever, as long as the thing being financed will ultimately benefit the person with a disability. On this slide, I have a link to our online application. You can just create a little account and then apply directly online. There's also a link so you can download a hard copy of the application and submit it by email, or you can just reach out to the program directly and speak with someone to get your questions answered or to walk you through the application process. We run a portable ramp loan program as well, facilitated through the 7 different centers for independent living throughout the state. So through this program, people in the jurisdiction or the counties served by that Center for Independent Living can reach out directly to the center and request to borrow a portable ramp, usually for 4 months at a time. And that's free of charge. The portable ramps only come up to 16 inches long, or 16 feet long, excuse me. So they're only ever appropriate to be used over a maximum of a few stairs, depending on how high the stairs are. But they can be a great solution for an interim, like if you're traveling or just going to try to access a friend's house or a business that's not accessible, or if you're recovering from an injury or something like that, or waiting for funding for a longer term solution or whatever it may be. And lastly, one of our newer programs is our 3D printing fabrication program. Through this program, we are able to create lower tech plastic aids using our 3D printers, and then give those away for free to anyone who requests. On this slide, I've also linked our catalog of 3D printed assistive technology items that you can request for free directly. However, people can also reach out and request an item that they don't see on the catalog, or even just sometimes come to us with a design challenge, like something that they're struggling with that they think there might be a low-tech solution able to be printed in plastic to address, and then we can collaborate and try to design something and then print that for them for free as well. So in order to contact us and learn more about or access any of our services, you can get in touch with us at 800-832-4827 or by email at mdtap.general@maryland.gov. You can also go directly to our website to find the contact information and more direct info about any of these services. The website is www.mdtap.org. Thank you so much again for your time, and please don't hesitate to reach out if you are interested in learning more about or getting your hands on some assistive technology. Thanks, everyone. Have a great day.